this is Robin with Creative2xmom, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you The Story of the World, Volume 2. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin and this is Creative2xmom. This channel is all about homeschooling, parenthood, and thriving in the day-to-day. In today's video we're going to be focusing on Story of the World, Volume 2, The Middle Ages. This is a history curriculum by Susan Wise Bauer and the Well-Trained Mind. Over the years, I have been a part of several homeschool mom groups online, and you might hear this referred to as Story of the World, or STOW would be the abbreviation that it goes by a lot of times. People love it, or they are sometimes confused by it. This is an elementary age on up through probably the middle grades. I'm going to be using it for my 6th grader this year. As you get into 7th and 8th grade, it sort of needs to be bulked up a little bit, but it's still a really great history curriculum, especially if you are looking into sort of the classical or the Charlotte Mason style. We love this because it is told in story form. A lot of kids, and even adults, myself included, I struggle with learning history from a textbook, but this takes it into the story and you get to know the people from history, the events that led to what they did. Not so much a focus on dates, although you do get the timeline of history throughout, especially if you do all 4 volumes. This is our 6th year using Story of the World, if that gives you any indication of what we think about it. We absolutely love it. This is the student text. It's not very big, a little bit bigger than the size of my palm, and it's pretty basic. And you see the print is not real tiny, it's easily readable, but there's not a lot of pictures. There is maps throughout, and there are sometimes just some black and white photos, but not a lot of color. What I love about this really is how it tells history through a story form. So what I have done is, in the younger years, to buy mom a little bit of time, you can get these in audio form. So I've used this for my younger student. Now that he's going into 6th grade, I will probably have him reading out of the student text. It can be done as a read aloud, and I would suggest that either in the audio form or sitting down with mom and doing this probably anywhere from 1st grade through 4th or 5th. I think that's a really good time to be learning together, but as he's transitioning into middle school, I'm going to have him read on his own. Each section is only a few, probably just a few pages long. There's anywhere from 2 to 3 sections in a chapter, and I will have my students read that section and then give me a written narration on that. This activity book. This is what makes the curriculum really, really worth it. So if you're going online to purchase this and you see the cost of the activity book, don't let that dissuade you, because this is really what creates the history, really what creates it and makes it so engaging. So for each chapter, this is chapter 42, so this would be the last chapter of the year. For each section, there's cross-referencing. There is questions that you can ask your child if you're going through this together. If you don't want them to just narrate, if they're still pretty young and you want to kind of engage them in the questioning process, there are sample questions. There's a sample narration for each section. There is additional history reading. Now, if you've seen my read aloud list for the new year, this is where I pulled those books from, because you can get history reading, plus there's literature suggestions. This alone makes it so worth it for me, because I can continue to make a richer curriculum for my kids. There's map work, and guiding your kids through finding things on a map. There's a coloring page for the first 2 volumes, I think, and then I think that's when they transition out of that. And then there is pages and pages of projects. Some of these projects are simpler, some of them are more involved, some of them we use, some of them we totally don't use. But in this chapter alone, there is 4 or 5 different activities that you can engage with your kids, and it goes into very detailed instructions of what exactly you will need and how to complete that activity. And a lot of times they're very inexpensive. Sometimes they're a little bit more involved if you might be sewing a Robin Hood cap or something like that. But a lot of times it's easily stuff that you can pick up with no problem. In the back of the activity book, now I always get the student packet as well, but in the back of the activity book, if you don't want to go to that level, there's all the coloring pages with every lesson. There is all the map work for every lesson. And there's even some of the activities. So let me see if I can find an example. This is chapter 7. There is a game involved in chapter 7. So here it is as well. You can get these printed separately, like I said, in the activity packet, or you can just get the activity book and print them as you decide you need them. As my son is going into 6th grade, we probably won't do any of the coloring pages this year, but we will do all of the map work. We found the map work to be really, it's not super in-depth, but it definitely gives my kids a mental picture of how to find things in the world. This really is worth its weight in gold, and it is a thick book. It really is heavy, so when I say it's worth its weight in gold, this is very invaluable. So that is a look at the Story of the World curriculum. There is also a test booklet that you can get for, I think, every level. And so when my daughter did volume 1 again last year, I really tried to bulk it up and I added the tests for her. Don't know if I will do that this year or if I'll wait till 7th grade. But there is so much included in this that it will really give your kids a rich look at history. I cannot say enough good things about this one for the elementary years. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.